Welcome to the Black Educated Tea Podcast. I'm your host, Makeda Marie, and today's topic of discussion is solo trips. But as always, before we get into the tea, let's get into this tea. So the tea that I'm drinking for today is roasted dandelion tea. It's pretty early in the morning, and your girl has not had her coffee yet. So I wanted to substitute until I get my coffee. So best believe I'm going to get my coffee after I do this. So I'm drinking roasted dandelion tea with vanilla collagen in it. And I usually do like a vanilla coconut collagen, but I was actually in the store the other day and I just saw some basic vanilla collagen. It was on sale. So I said, okay, let me give this a try. It's actually pretty good. I think it's by Dose & Company. It's just their vanilla collagen. So I put that in my roasted dandelion tea. And it still has the texture, it has the color, it has the, it's a good alternative to coffee. So that is what I'm drinking today. It's really good, really refreshing. I love the taste. You can definitely taste the vanilla in it. And I love the dandelion as well. It has a really good taste. So that's what I'm drinking until I get my coffee. So today, we're talking about solo trips. Yes, so your girl is on a trip. Decided to just take a trip by myself. No kids, no family, nobody, just me. So I'm just on this trip by myself, and I think it was very much needed. So I definitely, I did an Airbnb, I did a condo, wanted to make sure that I did it by the lake. And it has been raining a little bit, but that's not stopping anything because I'm still able to go sit out on the patio and just enjoy the breeze and look at the water. And I've really been enjoying it. I've been having a fireplace going. I'm always cold. So I got the fireplace going just to keep it warm because I'm just always cold for some reason. But I'm really enjoying the solo trip. And I think everybody needs time to their self. That is what's most important about this trip for me. I feel like I really just needed some time to regroup, decompress for myself, and do nothing. And I say nothing, I mean nothing. Anybody knows me know that I love to shop, so I have did some, shopping because it's really therapeutic for me. So I've done some shopping, but I'm a really scheduled, have to have an itinerary type person. And usually when I go on trips or I, plan things, I have a couple things in mind I want to check out. Whether it's museums or bookstores or restaurants or, sightseeing, whatever it is, I usually have some things that I just want to check out when I'm out of town. I didn't do that this time. I did not. I looked up some stores, so I was like, I do want to at least get some shopping in. So I looked up a couple stores I can stop at, a couple of malls, things of that sort. Looked up a couple of coffee shops just because I wanted to see what coffee shops were nearby. But I did not have an itinerary. I did not have a schedule. I said, this trip, I am just going, and when I get there, I will find some things to do. And that is really out of the ordinary for me. But I have been really enjoying it. I was like, I do not want to be on a schedule, itinerary, 3 o'clock, I got this, 5:30, I'm doing this. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. That is not the point of this trip. The point of this trip is really to relax and just do things as the day goes by. So in the next hour or two, if I just want to get up and go to the mall, or if I just want to get up and go get a massage, or if I just want to get up and go to the park, or just go do some sightseeing, I'm like, that's totally fine. It's whatever pops up in my mind that I want to do. Solo trips, everybody needs to at least get a couple of them a year, but if you can, definitely fit in one, I say do it. You have to have some time to yourself where you can just sit down, relax, think about some things, do some things that you want to do. And if that includes doing absolutely nothing, that is fine. Take some time to yourself. This solo trip is really beneficial for me. It's providing me self-care because, as I've stated previous times, this is the year that I'm focusing on my self-care, my well-being, and this trip has really helped me in more ways than others than I realized, with just, helping me with my self-care, helping me to realize what I want to do for this year to get my mental definitely in a better spot. So this trip has really been helpful in that way. So I think everybody needs it. Everybody needs time to yourself, and it looks different for everybody. For some people, you can do a staycation in your town. Go rent an Airbnb, rent a hotel, and just have some time to yourself. You don't necessarily have to go out of town for that. I've done staycation. I love staycations. But this time, I was like, so I called my Jeep the Pacer. You have to be my age or older to get the Pacer thing for Martin, just, yeah. So me and my Pacer, my Jeep, I gassed my baby up and we hit the road. And for anybody that knows me, especially if you've known me for a certain amount of years, it's nothing for me to just get in my car, gas it up, and go. I'll get up that morning, have my coffee, have my music, and just go. I mean, that's always been me anyways, but I haven't done it in some years now. So I'm like, that's something I really need to get back to doing. So I didn't want to really just drive too far, because I'm like, if I'm going too far, then I'm just going to go ahead and take a plane. And so I really didn't want to drive too far. But I love, driving, listening to music. That's therapeutic for me too. So that was also part of what I wanted to do for this trip. So got in my car, made sure I had my coffee, had my good playlist going, and just started driving and singing. The next thing you know, I was at my location. So that was part of my trip, the drive, the music. Once I got here, just relaxing and finding things as the day went. So definitely take this time this year, do your solo trip. Go to the beach, go wherever you want to go. It looks different for everybody. One particular thing I knew I wanted to do, I was like, I wanted to have a condo by the lake. Now that's what I wanted to do, and that's, that was like the only really big factor when I was booking the trip. I'm like, because I want to sit by some water, I just want to relax, and water just does something to you. So when you have, like last night, I just sat on the patio, and it felt really good. The breeze, I had my candle going, I had my tea, I had my music going. It was just really relaxing. Something about the water really relaxes me. So that was like my main factor in my trip. I'm like, I really want to have something that's by the water. It looks different for everybody. For some people, water may not necessarily matter. You might want to put your feet in the sand, or shopping may be more of a big deal. So you want to go somewhere where there's amazing stores and, shopping sceneries and things. So it's different for everybody, but know what you want to do when you do your solo trip and consider those things as a factor. For me, I didn't have a whole lot. I was like, I just want to come by the water. I'm like, shopping, I can find shopping when I get there, or on my way there, I can stop by different places for shopping. So yeah, definitely do that, because a solo trip, as adults, we are adulting every day, and it gets tiresome, and you just want to break from it all, whether it's work, life, family, just whatever, because we're balancing so many different things daily. So just having a solo trip where you're like, I don't have to answer emails, I can just do whatever I want to do. I can wake up anytime I want. I can watch whatever I want to watch. I can eat whatever I want to watch. I can just drive and visit and do whatever I want to do. It is very much needed. Where you don't have a plan. Your plan is just to make sure you get there safely. You let people know that you're there. You let people know your location. But not necessarily just have a plan. And for someone like me that's always doing itineraries, that's always, doing schedules, that was a little difficult. But I said, no, I am not doing an itinerary. I'm just going to take the days and just relax and definitely meditate. And that's something I'm really big on. It's something I'm trying to improve for this year is meditating more, and just finding ways to be calm, to be still, to be peaceful. And that's what I wanted. And it's really been peaceful. It's just me. So it has been really peaceful, I must say. Because it's just been me. And I'm okay with that. And when I do get back home, I am going to love to see my family. Of course, I've talked to them. They know I'm here. They're making sure I'm okay. I'm making sure that they're okay. But I just needed this time for me, as we all do. And it looks different for everybody. But I highly suggest and recommend that you take a solo trip. Family group, trips and, girls' weekends and hangouts and getaways. I love it. I'm all for it. And I'm going to do a couple of those as well. But then I'm also incorporating just trips where it's just me, where it's time for me to think and focus and just be. Because I definitely just want to learn how to be still and focus and listen and meditate this year. And when you are in a space by yourself and it's quiet, you can think, you can be still, you can be at peace because you don't have all the distractions from, technology and family and friends. And, you're just able to be still and just listen to your own thoughts and get some things together. So I'm really enjoying myself. And this is very much needed. So I want everybody to find the time and please take a solo trip, staycation, or just find some time to yourself. Even if it's not a solo trip, but you just find a day where you get up that morning and you go have breakfast by yourself. And from there you go get a massage or whatever you want to do for the day, facial, whatever. But just take that day and just make it all about you, not following the schedule. Of course, if you have a facial or massage, you got to be there at a certain time. That's totally fine. But just do some things throughout the day that's not necessarily scheduled. Get up whenever you want to. Go get breakfast when you want to. Have a couple of things that, of course, we know in life things still have to be scheduled. If you have appointments for things, those things have to be scheduled. But just take some time out of that day to do some things when there's no time to it. You just go and you just do it. And that's what I've been doing, these past few days. And I'm really enjoying it. I haven't been eating too bad. That's one thing usually when I go on trips. I used to just eat any and everything. But I haven't actually been eating too bad. I've actually been eating pretty good. I've still been drinking a lot of water because this trip is, helping me to regain and stay focused on healthy eating habits while, amongst other things. So I haven't really been eating too bad at all, which is a plus for me when I go on trips. So that's how I know this trip was very much needed and it's really helping me in a lot of ways. So please take the time out, do a solo trip for yourself. Reap the benefits of it because it is really neat, especially now with COVID. We were with family and especially your close-knit family. I mean, I was working remotely. My kids were doing school remotely, so we were in the home with each other every day and I absolutely loved it. I really did. I mean, we would go sit in the backyard, just, get some fresh air, walk around the neighborhood, go to the park. So we found ways to be creative, but we were, always around each other. So everybody needs that break. My kids probably needed a break from me too. Just like I needed a break from them, I think we all need a break from each other. And then when we come back, you're kind of refreshed and you're so happy. You can catch up on, hey, this is what I did on the trip, and they're able to say, oh, but this is what we did while you were gone, Mommy. And so that time is just needed for everybody. And I am enjoying it. I'm appreciative of this time. I am not taking it for granted at all. And in the next few months, I'm going to be doing another solo trip. Not sure yet exactly where I want to go. At this point, it's going to be centered more for shopping, or if I just want to kind of find something that, maybe somebody's doing a retreat, especially a healing retreat. So I'm not really sure what the next solo trip is going to be like, but this one was kind of random. I was like, okay, I just need to get away, like now. So I was like, let me just go, I put thought into it, but not as much thought as I would normally put into something. So there was thought put into it, but the next one, I'm definitely going to put more thought into it. Not going to really plan much either. I'm not going to do itinerary. I'm just going to put more thought into where I want to go, and the focus of the trip, I will say. But I'm not doing an itinerary. If I do have a couple appointments, depending on what I do, I'm okay with that. But I'm not going to have a whole day of itinerary and schedules. No, that is out the window. I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that anymore. And I'm not centering my trips around that anymore. Nobody, I'm not going to say nobody, because it really does work and it's really beneficial when there's a large group of people. But for me, starting this year, I'm not doing itineraries on my trips. I'm just not. I'm just going to take in stride and just enjoy and bask in the moments of my trip. And I'm not going to be bottled with itineraries. I need to get up at 8 o'clock. By 9, I need to be having breakfast. Oh, yeah, by 10:30, I'm just not doing it. And I've done that before. And it's beneficial depending on what the trip is and how many people are in the trip. But when it's just a solo trip, you don't need all of that. It's just you. You do not need all of that. So that is a huge benefit when you do a solo trip. If you want to still do a schedule itinerary, it's fine, but it's just you. You don't have to necessarily follow the schedule. It's just you. So you're not trying to keep up with other people and get everybody else in the line to go to the museum at 10 o'clock. It's just you. If you want to go to the museum at 12, it's totally fine. So yeah, I am enjoying this moment. I bought me some more journals amongst the other ones that I need to use. I have so many journals, but every time I see one, cannot resist it. So I definitely, found some really nice journals. I brought my books with me as well, so I can, make sure I get some reading in, because reading is self-care for me. And then I have my iPad as well, so I can, read my books on my Kindle. And, which can be a little difficult because I love paperback. I just love having a physical book in my hands. But I do have my books and do I have my books on Kindle, so I've been reading both. And I'm just really enjoying this. I'm enjoying this moment. And I would love to hear about everybody else's solo trips. Like, what do you do? Where do you go? How do you plan it? When do you know it's even time to take a solo trip? Do you take your solo trip once you've reached that burnout point and you're like, okay, I just need a break? Because that was me. Yes, that was me. I feel like I was doing too many different things, and I think I had just reached a burnout moment. And I was like, okay, I got to get away. I need a trip just by myself. So are you doing your trips once you reach that burnout, or are you just like, hey, I'm doing them quarterly? How are you doing your solo trips? How do they come about? How are you planning them? Where do you decide to go? I would love to hear, because I'm definitely trying to get different ideas on solo trips as well. Because I used to do them a lot years ago. I just haven't done them in years. Most trips now are family or business related trips. So I would just love to hear where you're going, what you're doing, the things you're trying while you're on your trip, so I can get ideas as well. And I hope, my simple solo trip this time has, really been eye-opening and beneficial to someone that, just go, just do it. Just have fun, enjoy, relax. Some people may even have themes for their solo trips. I think maybe my next one I can just do, a simple theme. Maybe it could be a bookstore / coffee shop theme, or, I don't know, shopping theme, who knows. But then you can have a theme for your solo trips. This is, particular things you want to do, you want to go, you want to visit. Just let me know. I would really love to hear how do you go about with your solo trips, and when do you know it's time for a solo trip. Because, this year I am a huge advocate for solo trips. As adults, we need it. As we adult every day, and we just, navigate through so many different things in life. It's very much needed just to have that time to yourself. So please share with me about your solo trip. And as always, this is the Black Educated Tea.